Alright, what's up, guys? It's your boy Spencer, here to bring you another UFC breakdown video. Well, actually, the first official one. Not the best card to be breaking down because we've lost two. We've lost the main event and the co-main. But nonetheless, we're still going to try to make some money and give you guys some good spots to bet here. So, first fight of the night, we got Nate Manus taking on Luke Sanders. Nate Manus is 12-1. He's got the height and reach advantage. Sanders is 13-3. After watching tape, Luke Sanders is the more experienced, better fighter in my opinion. Nate Manus, does have height and reach. Did look good on the scale. Looked like he bulked up. But in his last performance, I was not very impressed with him against who did he fight? I forget the guy's name, but his last fight in the UFC, it was not that great. He won a split decision or something, which honestly I think he probably should have lost that fight. But yeah, Luke Sanders, he got knocked out one time, which was pretty bad against a sort of low level guy. But his other two losses were by crazy submissions, and I don't see Nate Manus as a submission guy. Yeah, Luke Sanders, those two submission losses were by heel hook. So, interesting. In fights that he was completely dominating, too, nonetheless. Like, especially against, I'm so terrible with names. But the one guy, he was beating the crap out of for 2 rounds, and then he got lost to a crazy heel hook. The fight, today's day and age would have been called, but whatever, it's a loss nonetheless. But yeah, Luke Sanders is a very underrated guy, and it was crazy. People were saying he opened up at like plus 140. Man, that would have been a steal. I still think at minus 140 or around there, maybe minus 150, he's still a solid pick and parlay piece. I don't think Nate Manus is going to have enough to get it done. I don't know. If you want to take a shot on Manus, I don't hate it. Definitely has height, reach, looks better, looked good on the scales, but so did Luke Sanders. And I think, Nate Manus is younger, okay. But yeah, Sanders has the experience, more high-level competition, more high-level fights. Give me Sanders in this one. If I had to give a pick, I'd probably say decision. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Sanders could get a TKO or a knockout even. All right, next fight of the night, we got Sue Madargi versus Malcolm Gordon. Both 12-4. Sue Madargi's definitely got the height and reach. Malcolm Gordon looked good on the scales, though, man. He was pretty jacked. Sue Madargi, all of his losses are by submission. Malcolm Gordon's a submission guy, kind of. Not that impressive, though. Sue's a big favorite here. I think Sue probably knocks him out, but there is that chance that Malcolm Gordon could get a submission. I don't think there's any threat of a knockout or anything. So, if you want to take Sue and put him in your parlays, I wouldn't hate that. I'm probably going to have a parlay with him in it. But, it's a little sketchy. They're both 12-4. The submission could be there. But, yeah, I think Sue Madargi inside the distance or by knockout would not be a bad play either if you were trying to bet it straight up. All right, that's all the time I'm really going to spend on that one. I think, it was pretty cut and dry. Sue Madargi is going to win, but, Malcolm Gordon does have that submission threat. All of Sue Madargi's losses are by submission. It's a little scary there. A little scary. Just be warned on that one. But I do think Sue Madargi gets it done by knockout, TKO. All right, we got next fight, Gina Mazzani versus Rachel Ostovich. This one, the weigh-ins really swayed me. I was, thinking, I didn't really have a pick, but man, I just want to stay away from this fight. But after seeing the weigh-ins, I really like Gina Mazzani. She looked really good. She looked ripped at the weigh-ins, man. Rachel Ostovich, she's an Instagram model. Like, that's her path. That's her career. She's not really a fighter. She's more of an Instagram model. She has decent jiu-jitsu. I think the armbar from guard is definitely a threat. But yeah, I gotta say, I think Gina Mazzani's going to get this one done. I think she's going to get it done inside the distance, quite frankly. So inside the distance, Gina Mazzani by knockout TKO, not a bad play. If you want to take the under in this fight, not a bad play because Ostovich does have the threat of the armbar. I think that's her only path to victory. But yeah, other than that, I think this is a good chance that Gina Mazzani wins. I just don't want to pay minus 200 or anywhere near that for her. If it was like a pick'em, Gina Mazzani all day, I would take that bet. But minus 200, very low level. I like the under more, to be honest with you guys. So yeah, give me the under in this fight. I think that, either Gina Mazzani comes out and steamrolls her, TKO, knockout, Maybe she even gets a submission herself, but, otherwise the only chance Rachel Ostovich has of winning is really an armbar from guard. So, yeah, give me Gina Mazzani. I'm fairly confident in it, but, armbar from guard is always there. Probably not going to do anything on this fight at minus 200. I guess if you want to take a shot on Rachel Ostovich, I wouldn't hate it. Take her by submission, though. That's really her only path to victory. Still, I don't think there's great odds of that either. I mean, I would want like a really juicy plus 300 or more on that. So, really, this is a stay away fight, guys. But Gina Mazzani did look good on the scales. I think there's a good shot she gets it done. So, that's my pick. Gina Mazzani inside the distance. Next fight, we got Martin Day, Anderson dos Santos. Martin Day's 8-4. He has the height and reach. Anderson dos Santos 20-8. Yeah, dos Santos has the experience for sure, 100%. But, Martin Day looked decent in his last fight. He got rocked, but he rocked the other guy too, I think he's got decent power for being like a tall, skinny guy. It's kind of like a Madargi, honestly. Yeah, this is a tough one because I think Anderson is more, he eats shots with his face. He really does. He doesn't have great, striking defense. He definitely has the more experience in Anderson, that is. I think, he has the advantage in the grappling and on the ground if he would take it there. But I don't think he's going to take it there. He likes to stand and trade until he's losing the fight, and then he tries to get a last, ditch effort takedown and try to ground and pound or get a sub, Man, I feel like this is a good spot for Martin Day. I really do. And a couple of my friends were mentioning to me the knockout prop for Martin Day is plus 500 something. I think that's absolutely insane. I think that line is off. I'm probably going to take a shot at that line. Yeah, I think Martin Day gets it done by knockout. If you wanted to take a shot on Anderson, I wouldn't hate it. I probably wouldn't parlay Day. I think there's a risk there, but I definitely think the value of the knockout prop on Day is something that can't be passed up. So I'm definitely gonna be taking a shot on that. Outside of that, I do think Day gets it done, but if he can get if Santos can get Day to the mat, we'll see. I think that Santos could win the fight. I don't have confidence in Santos to use his grappling for all 3 rounds. He's a guy that really likes to go in there and trade. And with against Day, a guy who has, the reach advantage, the height advantage, has pretty good striking, has pretty good power for, a tall, skinny guy. I don't think that's a good idea. We'll see how, Santos, what his game plan is. I can't really tell you that. They both look good on the scales. I don't know. This is a tough spot. I think Day gets it done. I think he gets the knockout. But it all depends on how Santos fights. If he's, got a grappling heavy game plan, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in there and grapples Day for 3 rounds and wins the fight. But, is he going to be able to keep Day down? Is Day going to be, when he does get up or at the start of the rounds, is he going to catch Anderson with something? Probably, Yeah, give me Day by knockout. I'm riding with it. I'm gonna play that prop. Day by knockout. Might even sprinkle some round props in there too. I think this could be a good payday right here on Martin Day. All right. Next fight, we got Kai Kamaka, 8-2, taking on John Pierce, 9-4. Now Kai Kamaka, coming up a weight class, smaller guy, minus 300 and something favorite. Open at minus 400. I think that's insane. Absolutely nuts. Bonkers. Like, Kai Kamaka, yeah, he looked good on the scales, but so did fucking Jonathan Pierce. Man, I have a hard time being confident in Kai Kamaka at that price, man. I have a very hard time. This is one where I'm almost looking at the dog. Like, I do think Kai Kamaka is slightly the better fighter, but he's coming up a weight class. He's fighting a guy that's much bigger than Jonathan Pierce. Jonathan Pierce looked really good on the scales, guys. He looked pumped up. He looked ready to go. I think this could be a big upset spot. I'm not like I want to lean with Kamaka, but I just feel like the odds are so overinflated. It feels like a letdown spot to me. Like, yes, Kai Kamaka did look good on the scales. I will give him that. Minus 300, minus 400. Nah, man. At most, this should be minus 180. Like, I mean, this is almost forcing my hand to take the dog. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Jonathan Pierce in this one. I think that there's too much pressure on Kai Kamaka coming up a weight class, being that heavy of a favorite, really unproven. I mean, he's a decision machine. I think if anybody gets a finish in this fight, it's Jonathan Pierce. Give me Jonathan Pierce, man. Give me Jonathan Pierce by, late knockout. Yeah, maybe round 3 knockout. Yeah, I'm on John Pierce in this one. All right, next fight, we got Ashley Evans Smith versus Norma Dumont. Now, this one's interesting. I was all over Norma Dumont. She's a dog, guys. Like, there's not a lot of tape on her, that's true, and a lot of people are unsure of her, and I get that. I do. However, I think people are underestimating this girl. I mean, she fought, Megan Anderson, right? She lost by knockout, but I feel like a lot of people didn't really watch that fight. She was dominating that fight up until she got knocked out. It's like, okay, it's not a good look. I understand that. But, if somebody doesn't have the power of Megan Anderson, Ashley Evans Smith does not, right? I think Norma Dumont's going to dominate her. I think she's going to grapple her to death. Now, the one concern I have is that Norma Dumont missed weight. She did not look good on the scales. She looked unenergized. Yeah, Norma Dumont just didn't look good to me. That being said, I really do think she's the better fighter by a lot here. A lot of people were unsure about her, but I really, Ashley Evans Smith is kind of middle pack, fighter for the women's division. She's not anything special. I mean, she throws basic strikes. She has basic grappling, basic jiu-jitsu. She's nothing special. I think Norma Dumont is a superior grappler, has a superior jiu-jitsu game. I think she's the more powerful striker. Evan Smith throws more volume, sure. She has a good top control. Man, I have a hard time. And she looked great on the scales, too. Everything's telling me to switch to Evan Smith. I just don't know if I can do it. Even though, fighters coming in overweight in 2020 have had a terrible record. Norma Dumont didn't look good. I just don't know if it's enough to push me off my original read here. They're still going to fight. Norma's going to have that extra weight. She says she's walking around at 170, man. She had to cut 35 pounds for this. Dude. I mean, she's a big girl. She might be shorter, but man, she was able to manhandle Megan Anderson up against the cage. Like, granted, she's coming down in weight, but she's really not, because she came in overweight and she's going to put on the rest of that weight before fight time. She's going to be 145 at least, right? Yeah, I think Norma Dumont comes in here and gets it done. She's very confident. Remember, this girl was calling out Amanda Nunes after her freaking 4th fight. Like, what? Nah, man. I just don't think Ashley Evans is that caliber. I don't think people realize how good Norma Dumont is, coming in overweight or not. Give me Norma Dumont. I'm still on her. I think this is probably it was one of my most confident picks on the card before the weigh-ins. But after the weigh-ins, I'm a little sketchy on it, but I'm still going to take her. I'm still going to say Norma Dumont gets it done. All right, seventh fight. Let's go. Bill Algio versus Spike Carlisle. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a good fight. So Algio is 13-5, has height and reach advantage. Spike Carlisle is 9-2. Man, Spike Carlisle is the minus 180 favorite, I think, around there. Yeah, this is a scary spot, right? Weigh-ins, both of them look good. Spike was playing some antics with the, Joker mask or whatever kind of mask he had on. Yeah, Spike Carlisle. What can you say? I mean, he's a beast. He comes out in that first round, guns a-blazing. I think he has a decent shot again that first round knockout again. That's his MO. That's what he does. He goes out there, 110% since the opening bell. He's gonna push Algio. He's gonna bring the fight to him. He's gonna be looking for takedowns, swinging bombs. I think there's a decent chance he finishes Algio right away. But if Algio can hang in there, I think he's gonna pick Spike apart with the reach advantage. So it's a tough pick here. They both have a little bit of cardio issues, I think. This fight probably isn't going to go the distance. That might be the best play. Yeah, I think I got to lean with Spike to get the first round knockout. I think that's going to be the way this goes. He looked ready. I mean, Bill did too, but yeah, I can't really, we didn't get much from the weigh-ins here. They both look great. They both looked ready, pumped up. I just think, after Spike's last loss to Quarantillo, I think Quarantillo's a way better fighter than Bill Algio. Yeah, I think Spike's going to come in here, get back on track, and knock out Bill Algio in the first round. So if you want to look at a knockout prop for Spike or a first round prop, wouldn't hate it. But yeah, the pick's going to be Spike Carlisle by knockout. Next fight, we got John Perrigen versus Parker Porter. Now this is these heavyweight fights scare me, man. I think John Perrigen is going to win this fight. He, at weigh-ins, he's a big dude. I mean, Parker Porter is too, but he made Parker Porter look small. I mean, John Perrigen is a beast, dude. He's a giant, like a walking giant. I mean, he's, he needed the extra half-pound allowance for heavyweight, 265.5, right? That's what he weighed in at. Parker Porter, he weighed in, I think, around 240. Looked good, though. Or maybe he was in around 260. I don't actually remember. But, he looked good. He trimmed down a little bit. He doesn't look as flabby. He looks in shape, It's going to be a heavy presence there. He's going to be throwing bombs. Think, maybe he could get a submission potentially. But yeah, I think if John Perrigen just uses his height and reach, fights, the way he knows how to fight, gets top control, uses that top control, I think he's going to beat Parker Porter. But Parker Porter is definitely live here, guys, so I wouldn't be betting, your mortgage on John Perrigen or anything. I do think John Perrigen gets it done. But man, I don't know if I want to bet on this one. This is a little scary for me with these, both these guys have crazy power. And with heavyweights, it just takes one shot. So, yeah, I would be hesitant to bet this. But I think John Perrigen is going to win. I might throw him in a degenerate parlay, but yeah, I think John Perrigen gets this one done. Next, we got Miguel Big Baeza versus Takashi Sato. And this is going to be a really fun fight. I'm actually pretty excited for this one. So Miguel Baeza is 9-0. He has the height and reach advantage. Takashi Sato is 16-3. Man, Miguel Baeza is coming off that war with Matt Brown. I mean, I thought Matt Brown was going to get him out of there. That was crazy. He rallied. He took some heavy, heavy shots. He got rocked. Then he came back and he rocked Matt Brown and he knocked him out ultimately. That was impressive to me. Matt Brown's a dog. He's a tough guy. He's a tough, savvy veteran. Takashi Sato, on the other hand, he lost his last fight pretty badly, I feel. And, I'm just not that confident in Sato. I mean, I think he's a decent fighter. He's got some heavy hands. But I think Miguel Baez is on a different level. I think he comes in here and makes pretty clean work of Takashi Sato. At minus 170, 180 that Miguel's hovering around, I think he gets it done. I probably will throw Miguel in a parlay. I'm always weary betting on undefeated fighters that aren't really tested, but I feel like that last fight against Matt Brown really was a good test, and he passed. He passed with flying colors. He got rocked. I always love seeing a guy get rocked and be able to come back and win the fight. That gives me a lot of confidence in picking them. Because one, they don't freaking quit, right? That's the biggest thing with fighters is as long as they don't quit, I like putting my money on them. If they're going to fight until they're out, that's a good guy to put your money on. Sato, on the other hand, he's tough, but I feel like he does quit a little bit. He gets hit bad. He kind of, wears it. And I think Miguel Baez is the better fighter. I think he's going to get it done. Give me Miguel Baez by knockout, probably in like the second round. All right, and here we are at the main event, the new main event, which I am not very excited about, but, it is what it is. We got a fight card, I guess we got to be happy about that. Anthony Smith versus Devin Clark. Smith, 33-16, has the height and reach advantage. Devin Clark, 12-4. What can I say, man? Anthony Smith looked absolutely terrible on the scales. I saw this line at near even. I was like, Anthony Smith is going to destroy Devin Clark, right? Even though Anthony Smith has looked terrible lately. I mean, we got to remember, this guy was a minus 250 favorite against Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is challenging for the belt now, right? And he was beating Teixeira until he got clipped in like the second round, I think it was, like end of the second or beginning of the third. Yeah, he was dominating Teixeira. He almost had Teixeira out of there. I mean, Anthony Smith is no slouch, man. Then he goes and he gets dominated again. It's like, it's tough. I don't think he's who he used to be. That being said, I think, I was going to pick him, but man, he looked terrible on the scales. I mean, he didn't, he had no definition. He looked tired. He did not look good. Devin Clark, on the other hand, he's smiling, he's cracking jokes. He's fit, he's ripped, he's looking good. As a wrestler, yeah, I think he could have success, taking Smith down and just kind of doing what Teixeira did to him and doing what, a lot of Anthony Smith's recent opponents have been doing to him, is just getting on top and controlling him and beating him up. Devin Clark, I'm not high on the guy. I really am not. He beat Alonzo Menafield, but Menafield has issues, man. He's got cardio issues. All he is a power puncher. If you can get Menafield down to the ground, if you can, be quicker than him, and you're fine. Like, he's not that insane. I'm really not high on Menafield. That being said, it was impressive that Clark could eat some of those punches. I mean, he did take a lot of damage from Menafield. But yeah, if Clark can survive like he did against Menafield for the first round and a half, I think he's going to be all right. People are saying it swings to Smith with a 5-round main event now instead of 3 against Clark, but Smith didn't look good on the scales, guys. He looked like he was not ready for this fight. He looks like he does not have good cardio right now. Like, I'm nervous if this fight goes longer than 3 rounds for Anthony Smith. I think Smith's got to get him out of there. Do I think he does that? Man, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I was really high on Smith. I thought that he was going to get this done. He was saying all the right things. I felt like this was a great comeback spot. It's a huge step down in competition. Let's get that straight, right? But I think that after seeing him on the scales, I can't pick him, right? I mean, I can pick him. I think I am going to pick him, but I'm not going to bet him. I'm not going to bet this fight. I have no confidence in him. I just do think he's the better fighter. I think that, it's a huge step down fighting Devin Clark. But I feel like the way he looked on the scales just kind of evened out the playing field. And, I think I'm going to take Anthony Smith, but I would not recommend betting this fight. Maybe if you want to take a shot on Clark, but, as that little of an underdog, it's not really worth it to me. Maybe you do Clark by knockout or Clark by decision. I don't know if Clark can win a decision either. I don't think this goes the full 5. I think this is over in the second or third round. Yeah, maybe look at the under, or the fight doesn't go to decision. But yeah, I would not put your money on this fight, guys. I mean, I think the rightful favorite is Anthony Smith, but after seeing him on the scale, it's just not something I want to bet on. So my advice would be a pass. But yeah, I think Smith gets it done. He's the better fighter. I'm gonna lean with him, but yeah, I'd be very sketched about this one, guys. But yeah, so that basically wraps up the fight card. I'm just going to run through kind of what I'm looking at for bets, and then we'll wrap up the video here. So back to the first fight, Nate Manus, Luke Sanders. I do have Luke Sanders in a parlay. I wouldn't hate betting him straight, and minus 150 is a little steep for me, though. I don't really like that. Maybe I'll take a small shot on that, like a half unit shot, but I do have Luke Sanders in a parlay. I think he gets it done. I think he's the better fighter. Yeah, pretty simple there. Sue Madargi. I do have a bet on Sue Madargi by knockout inside the distance, you know. Not much to say here either. Malcolm Gordon looked really good, but Sue Madargi is a better fighter. Unless Malcolm Gordon can find a submission, it's pretty much over. Yeah, I also am going to include Sue Madargi in a parlay with Luke Sanders, my degenerate parlay of the week. Gina Mazzani versus Rachel Ostovich. I really don't want to have a bet on this fight, but Gina Mazzani looks so good, I'm going to parlay her. I'm going to throw her in my degenerate parlay. Martin Day, Anderson Dos Santos, no parlay piece here, but I am taking a shot on Day by knockout, plus 525. Would recommend that bet. I think there's a, really good shot of that hitting. May not, it's MMA. We never know what's going to happen. Maybe Dos Santos has a great chin, but man, he shots with his face, guys. Martin Day's quick. He's got good hands. I think he finds a way, with that reach advantage. I think he finds a way to TKO or knock out Dos Santos. Kamaka versus Pierce. Might have to take a shot on the underdog Jonathan Pierce here. I think I am going to. I haven't placed it yet, but I think I'm going to take like a half unit shot on Jonathan Pierce. I think the price on Kamaka is way too high. He's not worth that. And if I want to be on any side of this, because this is going to be a sweater, guys. You guys are going to be sweating this. I want to be on the dog money. So, taking a shot on Pierce, half unit. Norma Dumont, Ashley Evans Smith. This is tough, man. I wanted to put Dumont in my parlays. I still might. I just don't like the way she looked on the scales. It might be a parlay buster for me. I'll probably take a small shot, maybe a half unit shot on Norma Dumont, though. I do like her. I do think she's the better fighter. Maybe I will throw her in a parlay. Stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll tweet it out. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, Spencer Sports. But yeah, I'll tweet that out before fight time if I take a stab on her in a parlay. But yeah, I think I'm gonna play her straight, probably a half unit on her too. Carlisle Algio. I'm gonna take a shot on the Spike Carlisle by knockout. Probably take a little sprinkle on first round prop too. But yeah, that's all the action I want there. I'm not parlaying any of this. Algio's definitely live. Yeah, I'm not going to parlay that. John Perrigen versus Parker Porter. I'm actually going to totally stay away from this one. I think Perrigen gets it done. Might be a parlay piece. But for me, I'm just... I get nervous with these big heavyweights, especially when it's a guy in John Perrigen that I'm not, that isn't proven in the UFC. He's the number one heavyweight in Michigan, but what the fuck does that tell us, I want to see guys proven against UFC caliber competition before I lay a big stake to them, right? And I'm not going to have my parlay resting on John Perrigen. That being said, if you guys want to put it in your parlay, I don't hate it. I do think he's the better fighter. I do think he's going to get it done. And man, he looked like a giant, but sometimes the giants just fall harder. So yeah, I'm staying away from this one, but I can't wait to watch it. It is going to be an exciting fight. Baeza versus Soto. Yeah, this is a parlay piece of mine. Miguel Baeza, definitely parlaying him. He's in my degenerate parlay. He's actually going to be the final leg because I'm not touching the main event. But wouldn't hate Miguel Baeza inside the distance. Wouldn't hate Miguel Baeza by knockout. I don't think this is going to go to the distance. Yeah, maybe even taking a look at the under. I don't know if it's 2.5 or 1.5 rounds, but if it's 2.5, definitely might take a look at the under too. And then Anthony Smith, Devin Clark. I just would stay away from this. Just enjoy the fight. Anthony Smith looked terrible, but he's by far the better fighter. So it's a toss up, man. And I don't want to be on either side of this, to be honest with you. So I'm just staying away from that. But yeah. So my parlay, just to recap real quick, is Miguel Baeza, possibly Norma Dumont. I haven't placed this yet, but I'm planning to. Miguel Baeza, possibly Norma Dumont, Gina Mazzani, Sue Madargi, and Luke Sanders. That should get you like plus 500, maybe something around that. So yeah, I think that's about it. And good luck, guys. I hope y'all make some money. I hope these picks are able to help you out. I think there's some decent spots despite, the terrible card. But, yeah, I think there's some decent spots we should be able to make some money. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Follow me on Twitter. Get my tweets. I'm going to tweet out a few last-minute things before the fight, last-minute bets. But, yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys.